Honourable members, having suspended the sitting of the Assembly to rule on the matter before the Assembly regarding the second reading and the ensuing debate on the bill or otherwise, that's the bill entitled Local Government Amendment Bill 2020, I wish to state as follows. 1. Standing Order Clause 65 provides for the first reading of a bill to be introduced by the person in charge of the bill by handing a copy of it to the clerk, who shall read aloud the short title, whereupon the bill shall be deemed to have been read a first time. This was done on Thursday, the 2nd of July 2020 by the Honourable Member for Lower Badibu. Subsequent stages of bills under Standing Orders 66, please can we? Thank you. Understanding Order Clause 66, which states that 1. Following the first reading, the stages in the Assembly's consideration of a bill shall be, and the emphasis is mine on shall. A. Second reading, a general debate on the bill with an opportunity for members to vote on its merits. B. Committee stage, detailed investigation by a committee followed by a report to the Assembly. A bill may be committed to a select, standing, or special select committee or to a committee of the whole Assembly. C. Consideration stage, consideration of an opportunity for members to vote on the detailed clauses of the bill, including amendments to the bill. Consideration stage is taken by the General Assembly. The third reading, passing or rejection of the bill without further amendments. At the conclusion of the proceedings on the first reading or on any subsequent stage of a bill, the next stage may be taken either forthwith or upon a day to be named, providing that the second reading shall be taken no sooner than 1 working day after the first reading. Honourable members, the second reading stage was appointed for today, the 6th of July 2020. Furthermore, Standing Order 67 that deals with second reading of bills provides as follows, that on a motion being moved that a bill be read a second time, I read again, on a motion being moved that a bill be read a second time, the general merits and principles of the bill may be debated. Members, the rules of interpretation dictate the application of the principle of consistency between clauses. And here I refer to clauses 66(1)(a) and clause 67(1) of the Standing Orders. In other words, a motion ensuing from clause 67(1) of the Standing Orders, if it is interpreted to be in the same manner as general, will contradict clause 66(1)(a) of the Standing Order. Therefore, the principle of consistency is adopted hereby to harmonize the two above clauses and give effect to the mandatory provision of clause 66(1)(a). Clause 67(2) provides that if the motion is carried, which is the second reading, the clerk shall read aloud the short title of the bill and shall declare it to have been read for the second time. Therefore, the second reading stage of the bill must be taken as dictated by Standing Order 66(1)(a), and a debate may ensue on the general principles. This is discretionary on those who wish to take part on the debate to do so, but not necessarily a question to be taken on it at this stage. Furthermore, I wish to draw the attention of the Assembly that clause 61 of the Standing Orders deals with motions in general terms and do not apply to motions under clauses 62 to 79 of the Standing Orders. Motions on the bills are guided by clauses 62 to 7. Standing Order 62.8 reads, the provisions in Standing Order 62 to 79 shall apply to government bills, committee bills, and members' bills, unless otherwise provided for herein. Now, based on the foregoing, and in accordance with Standing Order 8.3 subclause 1, 8.3, I hereby rule that we proceed with the debate on the merits and principles of the bill. Order, please. Thereafter, a vote shall be taken, and if it is carried, the clerk shall read aloud the short title of the bill and shall declare it to have been read for the second time. If it is not carried, the second reading is deemed to be negative, notwithstanding the next stages of the bill will be proceeded upon. Now, honorable members who wish to take part in the debate may now raise their constituency tag and will be given the floor for the debate. So I so rule. As I said, the ruling is final as per clause Standing Order 8.3. Please, it's final. Thank you. Honorable members who wish to take part in the debate may do so by raising their tags and will be given the floor. Please, can you take in?
Honorable Speaker, there was a question before the House, and we need to clarify that question, Honorable Speaker. Yes.
Already been made, and Honorable, a ruling has already been made, and it is final. Now,
Honorable Speaker, we are not enlightened of what you are saying.
Honorable member for 40.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Speaker, can you please enlighten us more? We are not enlightened of what you are saying.
Honorable member,
we are not enlightened, please. Honorable Speaker, please, we have a concern. We have a concern. Please, we want to be enlightened of what you are saying.
Honorable member, with all due respect, I have already made a ruling. You'll have an opportunity to vote. This is not the final stages. This is not the final stages. There are stages to a bill. The bill has not been passed. Honorable member for
Honorable Speaker.
Honorable member for
Thank you very much.
Honorable Speaker, you put a question to us. Honorable Speaker, you put a question to us.
Thank you very much.
Can we finalize on the question?
Honorable colleagues, with due respect, I have been given the floor. Can I be heard, please? Yes.
Madam Speaker.
And thank you. Honorable Speaker, thank you very much.
Giving the floor to Honorable Member for Banjul North.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this is a landmark event. We are testing our processes. We are testing the rules that guide our operations. And I think this is something that should be noted as a very significant event in the processes of this National Assembly. Honorable Speaker, the issue before us is an issue of principles, integrity, democracy, standards, best practice. Wanting for yourself or wanting for others what you want for yourself. That is the issue before us. I was opportune to be the first National Assembly member to be given the floor during the first adjournment debate of this National Assembly. And I could recall in my intervention, I talked about the need for the Assembly to expunge Section 11D, 91(1)(d), excuse me. And it appeared that that was the trend, that was the mood. During the course of time, it was not immediate though, but during the course of time, it was a matter, it was considered by this August Assembly. And if I could also recall, not every member spoke, but I can tell you that the mood then, the majority supported the removal of such a provision from our statutes, from the Constitution. A lot of argument taking place in terms of the merits, the need for such a provision to be removed. It was about democracy, people electing, and the person who elects is the person who should have the right to remove. That was the argument, that was the principle. And everybody spoke on the basis of consent. Section 112 was invoked here. That whilst we are here at the Assembly and even outside as elected representatives, we must always be guided by conscience and what serves the interests of the population. And everybody was drumming that. Everybody was saying that. Conscience, national interest. There was no member who stood here and opposed that provision from the expunge.
Point of order. Point of observation. Point of correction, please. Point of correction.
If it is correction, let me proceed. If it
Thank
is
you.
order,
I think
no. If it is correction, I want to proceed. I wish to proceed. If it is order, I can
I will
concede.
raise a point of order then. Point of order.
If it is order, I can concede. Yeah, no problem. If it is order.
If it is a point of order, she has a right, but let her refer to the authority. Can we get your authority, please? Thank you. Otherwise, on our side.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, so it's a matter of conscience and what's of national interest. And what Section 1911D was saying was that you are elected by the people directly. And mind you, this election makes you one of the most powerful officials on this land. Apart from because you are invested with the power of the people. The most powerful on this land are the people.
Point of order, Honorable.
And that power is delegated.
Point of order. I'm rising on point of order 18, clause 18. Point of order. The Honorable member made mention that 18. 1-8, yes.
What is your point of order?
Point of order. The Honorable member made mention that during the debate of the repeal of Section 91D of the Constitution, no member stood here and opposed it. I would just like to correct the records that I did and proposed an amendment to this debate, to this repeal, and it was rejected. Thank you.
Madam Speaker.
Sorry, no. Honorable members, please. Honorable member, what you are drawing our attention to is clause 18, dealing with any deviation. That if it is a point of order, you can, any member deviating from these standing orders. So what is the standing order that is being deviated from? Okay,
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I don't think this should be an issue that should be contested. This should not be an issue that is controversial.
let's just deal with the merits.
Yeah, I'm talking, yeah, that's right.
Let's
What we have before us is that the person elected with delegated responsibilities, delegated powers. You can only be stopped from performing or exercising those powers by those who entrusted you with those powers. And this is what he's talking about. Being a member of a party, that's fine. Some are being represented, not through the ticket of political parties. So, but if you are elected through the ticket of a political party, your actions here, your utterances, must be guided by 112, Section 112. If your party's position on any issue supports that, well and good. If it doesn't, what should dictate you, it should be conscience and national interest. And I believe what this piece of amendment is seeking is to protect the power of the people, that entrusted power. That's what it is doing, simply. The power that is given to you by the people to represent them, it's only the people who can revoke it, who can recall you. And of course, there are provisions for that. In fact, this National Assembly could even be found wanting as far as recall is concerned. There's a provision in the Assembly, in the Constitution, that provides for recall. But the procedures are to be spelled out through an act that is yet to be done. In fact, what we should have done at the time when we were repealing Section 191(1)(d) was also to look into the Local Government Act, which is also representation at the level of the localities. But all the same, that as the saying goes, better late than never. But what we are doing now is to safeguard that power of the people. They propose, they should dispose, as far as governance is concerned. They propose, they have the right to propose, they should have the right to dispose. They elect you, they have the right to elect you, they should have the right to remove you. No other grouping, less powerful grouping, because this representation is more powerful than political parties. Because the people, we are here representing everybody. Although you are elected through a constituency, that is how the arrangements are. But each and every member here is representing the whole Gambia. So that's why they even say we are the most powerful authority on this land. So, Honorable Speaker, I would want to implore my colleagues that what we have done for ourselves, what we have done for the people of this country, that once they elect us, they are the only ones who can remove us. Of course, there are other processes, there are other instances that we can be removed when we are found wanting. But other than aberrations, other than violations, serious violations, no one should remove us from office, or nothing should remove us from office from other than what is in the Constitution. So we want to apply, I think what this is doing is to apply the standards, the laws, the principles that apply on us as National Assembly members in terms of removal from office, in terms of representation to the level of the local council. It is only fair that you treat others as you would want to be treated. Local representation is representation, and it's direct mandate. It's through franchise. The people elect, they're the ones who should remove. I am in full support of this amendment. It is in keeping with democratic processes. It is in keeping with justice. I've heard someone talking about justice. It's in keeping with justice. It's in keeping with principles, established principles. It is in keeping with standards, consistency. It's in keeping with best practice and respect for the people who elect. We have to respect the people who elect us. We should not usurp their powers. We should not usurp their authorities. We should not undermine their authority. We should not undermine their powers. And what this seeks to repeal is a provision that really undermines the power of the people, the power of representation, the power of trusteeship, and trusting power. They entrust power, and then somebody usurps that. So, Honorable Speaker, on my final point, as I indicated earlier on, I was not expecting this to be controversial. I'm still not expecting it to be controversial. I believe that if we allow conscience to dictate us, if we allow national interest to dictate us, if we allow consistency, not double standards, to dictate us, if we allow treating others how you wish to be treated dictates us, we are going to support this amendment so that Gambia, in our stride for best practices, in our stride for being a model in democracy, as we are in a transition. And I would have definitely loved the civil society. These are issues that civil society should equally pick up. I was expecting them here because this is a real affront to the people. This law is an affront to the people. And the defenders of people at the level of civil society, at the level of advocacy, I am urging them that these are issues that they should equally take interest in. That whenever they see anything, governance, finances, anything that traverses, that transgresses, that violates the interests of the people, they should also be at the forefront in terms of advocacy. Having this provision in the Local Government Act, in fact, we have been given the history as to how it came about by the Honorable Member for Fonyi Brevet, that this is an obnoxious law. It was meant for a person, and laws should not be meant for individuals. It was meant for some person, a person who wanted to remove. And he said this, and it was a time. So if the Honorable can say this, I think this is enough attestation. This is enough justification that we support the removal of this obnoxious law in our statute books, particularly in this case, the Local Government Act. Honorable Speaker, I want us to continue raising the bar. This is a progressive move. People out there are not expecting us to retrogress. Anything other than this is not progressive. It's double standards. And we should be held in high esteem. We should always guard against soiling our integrity. Representation is all about that. Being principled, going by your conscience, going what serves the interests of the people. So on that note, I wish to say that I am in full support of the removal of Section 19G, which states that if he or she ceases to be a member of the political party of which he or she was a member at the time of his or her election, the person ceases to be a member of the council. elected by the people. So I am really in support of this move. And also the other technical elements where you have where you have the or and the and, as it is stated, I think is consistent, it's really in line. So I am in full support, and I'm urging my colleagues to really support the repealing of Section G and the other the prayers that the amendments being sought by the mover of the motion. Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Member for Talinding.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving me the floor. Madam Speaker, going by the merit and principles of the bill, it has stated clearly that this will help council members not to be influenced by party ideology and to work their action, duties, and function to work towards the interest of the country, which is prescribed in their oaths before they assume office. Madam Speaker, I am supporting paragraph 9G, which stated that, I am in removal of section 19G, which stated that if the person seeks allegiance to another party. Madam Speaker, we were all here for the past 22 years struggling against the governmental injustice in this country. What is wrong yesterday cannot be right today. Madam Speaker, it's your constitutional right. Every citizen has a right to support a party of your choice, but it is your right to join any party that you wish to join. So therefore, Madam Speaker, I don't think one needs to be victimized for joining any political party. Madam Speaker, going further, as parliamentarians, we untie ourselves here, but today we want to tie others. They are elected representatives. If their electorates are satisfied with them, I don't think any party should victimize them. Madam Speaker, on that note, I beg to move, and I'm in full support of it 100%. Thank you.
Member for Sandu.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. So, debates on the principle and merits of the said bill. Honorable Speaker, I want to make my position very clear. This National Assembly, when we came here, everybody applauds that the proceedings in this National Assembly was one of the best. But as time goes on, Honorable Speaker, things are changing. But notwithstanding, Honorable Speaker, we have advocates for amendments of the Local Government Act. There are important issues that we were expecting to be amended than only this one that is before us today. Honorable Speaker, I don't want to debate much on this. Then my position to this one is that the most important amendments that should come to the Parliament other than this. So my position is I'm not in support of the amendment of this particular clause. Thank you.
Thank you. Honourable Member for Lower Nyomi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I am disheartened so far about what I have heard. Reading from the bill, it goes to say the bill seeks to grant independence to the members of the area council from their respective parties and political leaders. This is the height of ingratitude. Height of ingratitude in the sense that before you came to be a councillor, you had your support from your party. Why didn't you voice that out? If you are going to show out later to another party, this should have been shown earlier so that we could see that we are dealing with a chameleon, not an individual. And it goes to say that this is going to be an eye-opener for the parties to open up their eyes tomorrow for the type of people they will be sponsoring. Because these people could betray them anytime. This is what is being shown. And we want to give these people carte blanche so that they could behave in that way. It will come to Parliament. It will go to the councils. The parties are going to start subscribing any candidate who wants to stand to an oath. Beginning. Anyone, as from henceforth, who wants to stand on a party ticket would subscribe to an oath. And not only an oath, but a bond. Yes! The parties cannot spend on an individual.
Point of order. Point of order, Madam Speaker.
If you want to raise a point of order, you have to refer me to the relevant standing order and not clause 18, but specifically to where the honorable member has violated any clause. Otherwise, you can't.
So, this is threatening. This is very disheartening. This is very inconvenient. Let's bear in mind, should we pass this today, we would have no allegiance to the people and the party. That's what it is being said. Here, you will be having your independence. If you have your independence, who is going to regulate you? Huh?
Honorable Speaker, there is no decorum in the House.
Are we in a dialogue?
Yes, if there is no decorum, you all
the
disrupt now.
honorable member is on his. Please, can you restrict your intervention to the merits?
Yes,
otherwise,
I am on the merits because I am quoting from the objectives of the bill itself. And this is what is happening. Pass it. Subscribe to it. Be rest assured tomorrow if you are in the field, you're going to pay for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Opanyomi. We'll all have an opportunity to voice out our opinions.
Thank you very much.
Opanyomi.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Madam Speaker, let me seize this opportunity to thank the Honorable Member for Lower Badibu for bringing this important bill before us. We are grateful, as the other members said before me. We feed ourselves, and there are our colleagues down there who need to be free as well. Madam Speaker, if we said there are more important sections within the Act that need to be amended than this particular one, when we were amending the Section 91(1)(d), there were more important, obnoxious, and draconian laws within the Constitution that needed to be amended, and we did not do that. So now is the time for us to say different. Madam Speaker, let's call a spade a spade. Thank you. And let people start, fooling others, or maybe, saying things when it favors you at this particular time, where it doesn't favor me the next time you say differently. Maybe double standard, I call it.
Honorable, I think for all of us, it would help all of us to lead to a healthy debate. Just let me land. Let's follow the rules of procedure the merits otherwise and principles of the bill. And let us not start engaging in responding to what honorable members have already said. Let's go to the essence of the bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, when you go through the object and reasons of the bill, it's very explicit, clear, and straight to the point. This bill seeks to grant independence to the members of the area council from their respective parties and political leaders, and to further enhance the system of local governance, autonomy, freedom of speech, and debate in accordance with the Section 109 of the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, 1997. The bill also seeks to ensure that the council members' sense of duty, functions, and actions are influenced by supreme national and community interests and the dictate of conscience and not by their individual political interests or political leaders. No single political party or a political leader can control people elected representatives. Madam Speaker, it's unconstitutional. It's inconsistent with the freedom of association. And that's what some people are trying to do. So therefore, Madam Speaker, I am in 100% support of this particular amendment. And I give my 100% support. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity. Honorable Member, thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Member for Jokadu.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving me the floor. Madam Speaker, I think history will repeat itself here in these chambers today. That's what I believe. And Madam Speaker, to be frank, before you can become a complete human being, anything that you are yearning for or anything that you want for yourself, I think the same thing should also be given to somebody else. Madam Speaker, when we came here in 2017, just as other honorable members said, the only thing that we spotted first in the Constitution was Section 91(1)(d). We tackle it and throw it away. And then today we are ourselves. Now, councils also, the same thing is tying them. And there are people here who are advocating to let them be entangled to death. I am not going to be a party to that, Madam Speaker. I am in 100% support of this bill. When we came in these chambers, the first thing that we did was we all took our oath here, that we said we are not going to favor, we are not going to look at any ill will, but we are going to guard the good laws of this great nation. We are elected by people to come to serve them. Councillors also the same, they are elected to come and serve. Now, if we think inside the box, I think we also need to think outside the box. Yes, you can betray your party, but your party also can betray you. So I think the safest thing is to put the thing in the right manner. We seek independence from the British in 1965. Why did we do that? For us to become independent, so that we own ourselves, we decide for ourselves. Now we want to recolonize within us. And I don't think that is fair. Madam Speaker, this bill has come at a right time. What we did in the Constitution, I think, is also better for us to all agree and do the same thing in this Local Government Act. On that note, Madam Speaker, I don't want to waste the time of the chambers. I'm 100% support of this bill. Thank you very much.
Honorable Member for Basse, please.
Madam Speaker,
I think it would help all of us if we don't make a mockery of the Assembly. I mean, we can applaud. There's nothing wrong with that. But Really, let's try to exercise some decorum, please. Basse, yes, Honorable Member for Basse.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much. I think today is an important day for myself, Honorable Member for Foni Jarol, and the Honorable Member for Nyamina Dankunkung, and the Minority Leader, to extend our apology to council officials who have suffered of this amendment because of us. We are among the team. Allah has given us that opportunity to see a day like today to reverse the trend. If it happens, we will extend our apology to whoever has suffered. Madam Speaker, on the 7th day of July, 2015, the Minister of Local Government at that time brought before this August Assembly the amendment of Local Government Section 19 by adding letter G, quoting, if he or she ceases to be a member of the political party of which he or she was a member at the time of his or her election. And the reason and the object of the amendment that he brought before us simply goes into one sentence, that is to harmonize the law of the Local Government Act to that of the Constitution. If that was the situation, harmonizing the laws of Local Government Acts and the Constitution, who has the power to do that? It is this powerful House, the Parliament. That's why the Minister came here, so that we do it. And we did it. The Parliament did it. We accepted for that provisions of the Constitution be inserted in the Local Government Act, so that the two documents, the laws within the two documents, are harmonized. We, the powerful House, did it. And when we are doing it, we don't do it because we want to do it. Because at that time, the political atmosphere, the political climate then, you have to join the system. You don't have to beat the system. If you are within the system, whether you like it or not, you go by the system's instruction. That's why the Parliament accepted to do so, and it is done. Majority of Gambians have seen the way we are going. There's a way to change regime so that the Gambia will come back to the Gambian people. And that's what all of us have fought for. Now, the regime has changed. And the first beneficiaries of the change of regime was ourselves. And I think the member for Banjul North and other members have said it. We have seized that opportunity at that early moment so that to free ourselves, so that we will not be dancing to the tune of a political, of one person. Thousands of people put their trust and confidence in you. Thousands of people. For you to come and represent them. Only one person with one pen, with one sentence, contradict the will of the people. The situation where we are, it is not giving room for such. Our maturities are beyond that now. And they will not allow anybody to play with our mind. We want to gain and ensure our autonomy and our political freedom. The bigger mistake people are doing, I want to invite you for a dialogue. Section 26 of the Constitution Madam Speaker, with your permission, every citizen of the Gambia of full age and capacity shall have the rights without unreasonable restriction to take part in the conduct of public affairs directly or through freely chosen representatives. That's what I opted for. To show to politicians, especially political leaders, it's not the influence of your political party who is taking me to the parliament, but it's the influence of the people. It's not the party who brought you here. The party was established by people. It's those people who had their trust and confidence in you to choose you as their representatives. With party ticket, without party ticket, if people want you to represent them, you will represent them. And I think we should have now that chance to give that education to people. It's not the political party who is bringing you to the parliament. It's not the political party who is taking you to the council. It's the will of the people, the trust and the confidence of people in you. And you are not the only person who contested. Why you being elected? Because they trust you, they had confidence in you. And I think our maturity should guide us in that sense, so that we will not be repeating the mistake of the past. Otherwise, the history will not forgive us. Here is a decision-making body. And if you are making a decision, you need to be very careful, because you are going to be accountable for the decision that you have made, either by people or by God one day. Are you here to serve an individual, or we are here to serve the country? Are you here to serve an individual, or we are here to serve a person, only one person? Free yourself, and nobody can free you but yourself. And we have freed ourselves. Now other people who were there, they were free. They were free. Prior to 2015, prior to 7 July 2015, those officials at the council were free. Unfortunately, we make them to be tied. We, the parliament, the powerhouse. We did it. Because we are tied. So the similarity will occur. Now we are no longer tied. We want them to be tied. Let us just analyze the situation, putting ourselves in their shoes. So therefore, honorable member for Lower Badibu, I want to thank your courage. I want to thank your integrity. I want to thank your honesty. Love for yourself what you love for other people, or love for other people what you love for yourselves. Nobody will want to be victim of such. So therefore, why should we allow somebody to be in that situation? And you are the cause of it. And it's only you who can remove it. Why can't you have the courage to revise your decision so that tomorrow history will forgive you? Honorable members, I am speaking from an independent mind. I'm not a partisan of any political party in this country. I'm a freely chosen representative by the people of Bassi on my second term in this parliament. Through highly contested elections, where 4 to 5 political parties will contest with me. But I still survive. It's not because of the political parties, it's because of the people. It's not political parties who are bringing you to the parliament, it's the people. So I think we need to educate that. We need to send that education to our electorate, to our people, so that everybody will understand this is the situation. Madam Speaker, this section 91D1, let me tell you the consequences of that section. The parliament that we had here was the most vibrant parliament in West Africa. My colleagues are here. Members were educated, members were trained, members were skilled, but if you come to the floor of the House, they are not productive. Do you know why? Because of section 91(1)D. You are not here then to speak your mind. You are here to speak the mind of the bigger boss. They are here. I don't remember for Nijaro is here. You are here to sing the name of the bigger boss for you to be a vibrant MP. Then, if you don't do that, section 91D1 will follow you. How many MPs have lost their seats here? 3 consecutively. And one is facing me now. Thousands of people rallying behind you to go and represent them. One person, you are giving the power to one person to remove that person, to against the will of the people. Those days should be, we should be forgotten. They shouldn't even be in the history book. So nobody can do it but this parliament. So I am urging you, my colleagues, we understand each other. Let us put anything aside, but let us put ourselves in the shoes of those people who are going to enjoy this freedom if they are given to. Hence, we don't reject it. Hence, we accepted it. Hence, we fought for it. Hence, we demanded for it. Hence, we did everything for us to be freed. And we have the power to do so. Let us not let others not to test the beauty of democracy. Madam Speaker, on these notes, I want once again to thank the member and all those people who have collaborated with him for the success of today. It's a celebration for us, as I said, myself, Honorable Member for Foni Jarol, and Honorable Member for Nyamina Dankunku and the Minority Leader. On that note, I thank you and beg to resume my seat.
Thank you. Honorable Member for Upper Fuladu. Oh, so he's never here. Ilyasa, please. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Although my intervention was very short, simply because maybe the mover did not understand independence and the individual interest. If the mover had already understood the independence, although I'm not independent, I was somebody under control. That's why I was unable to bear him. Because if you want to be more productive, and if you want to your integrity to be honored within the society, somebody has to control you. Somebody has to take you. Although you are independent, on the side of God. But there is a reason that God has already controlled us. And I was even disappointed when I see individual political interests. No, I'm not saying that. Individual interest. Maybe they don't understand individual interest. If you don't have individual interest on this earth, you can't even exist in this earth. But somebody had an interest on you, or you have an interest on him, that's why you can survive. So, to final note, I'm even proud to say that I'm not independent. That's why I don't look like Elijah. If I'm independent, I'll not do that, Madam Speaker. But I was under control. Somebody controlled me. Somebody dictated me. And I was following somebody's instruction. That's why I have a son like
Point of order.
Let me know. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Well, we've said many times that you refer to honorable members by the constituency and not their
I'm
names.
sorry to say, I mean, the lower Baribu. I'm proud that I'm controlled by somebody. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable member for Tumana.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. This is a very trying moment for this country, and I think I would not want to waste my words on people who deserve my silence. Honorable Speaker, first of all, we look at the objects and the reasons of this bill, which talks about the bill seeks to grant independence to the members of the area councils from the respective parties and political leaders. Honorable Speaker, I am really shocked because as a member of a political party, if today I can betray my party and stand in front of everybody talking about I am free, honestly, Honorable Speaker, this is a shame on me if I should do it. Honorable Speaker, we've all been advocating for the review of the Local Government Act of 2002. There are a lot of archaic laws in that Local Government Act of 2002, which we, the parliamentarians, are not doing justice to the people of this country. How can the entire region vote in a chairman to administer the day-to-day affairs of that region, and the person is not answerable to those electorates, but is answerable to the governor, regional governor? Honorable Speaker, I belong to a committee where the local councillors or councils come up with resolutions for us to help them to make sure that we make those changes in that Local Government Act. And today, I am full of shame. What has been said on that day by some members and what they are saying today is like the East and the West. Where is the interest of the country when the masses are out there? We all know what is happening in Combo. The law is saying all the lands in the Greater Banjul area belongs to the state, and all the lands in the provinces belongs to the traditional landowners. Is that law not conflicting? Is that law not biased to the people of Combo? So, for my own part, Honorable Speaker, I am against this, and I am not going to support it, based on these reasons. There are a lot of archaic laws in the Local Government Act. If the entire act is here, I will support, but just a portion, I am not going to support. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All you do. Sorry, all you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, first of all, let me thank the member for Lower Badibu for bringing this important bill in this very house for the National Assembly to delete a particular provision from the Local Government Act. Honorable Speaker, the bill seeks to grant independence to the members of the local councils. That is why in the 1997 Constitution, on the Section 25 and Section 26 have all stipulated very clearly for citizens to join any association they wish to join, to take part in, to join any political party they wish to join. This is in line with the Constitution, Honorable Speaker. This bill could not have come at a better time than now, that the local council need to be independent. People who are elected to represent us at the local council need to be independent. Just like ourselves in the National Assembly. When we came, as alluded to my colleague from Jokadu, Section 91(1)(d) was a very bad law. When it was introduced in Parliament, we did not even take time. Automatically, we delete the whole provision. And then we supported that. We said it's a bad law. Yet still we have another bad law in one of the acts that is entangling the people we elected to represent us at the local council. We are saying we are not going to support for the deletion of that particular provision. Are we fair? We are not fair, Madam Speaker. This bill is not meant to discriminate any political party. Neither does it seek to protect an individual. The bill is meant to protect each and every electorate or elected individual who is going to represent the people at their various positions. That is why the bill is here. So we should not have a preconceived mind to say the bill is here to protect an individual. This is a National Assembly. We are making laws. We have amended a lot of provisions in the Constitution or other acts coming to us, before us, for amendment. This is one of them. It's one of those provisions that are brought for us for amendment. And we need to amend it to protect those people. We have to protect them. That is the fact. I have to be independent to be able to speak my mind. I have not seen anybody who has been controlled by a political leader yet. But if that is the case, we have to remove the provision so that people can be free to speak their mind in Parliament. Likewise, at local council meetings, because they used to have those discussions. If anything that is against the interest of a political party, and then they form the majority in that particular house, then that interest for the country will be ceased. It will not go because of the interest of that particular political party. So, Honorable Speaker, Section 91(1)(d), we will take reference from Section 91(1)(d) in this House. We deleted it without even amending it because we want to grant ourselves independence to represent our people. Today we are speaking our mind. Whatever we want to say, we will say it in this House. Why don't we grant the same leave to those people at the local council so that they can speak their mind? This is Gambia. Today you are there, tomorrow you are not there, somebody will be there. So it's for everybody, not an individual. So I want people to It is not here to discriminate any political party, neither does it protect an individual. A bill, a law is a law for the country. When we are amending laws, when we are making laws, we make it for the general good of the citizens, and then we believe it will take, that time, test of time for people to be able to get used to those laws. That is the fact. So, Honorable Speaker, I wouldn't want to waste much time. This is very explicit, very clear, that what the bill says. If I am a councillor, or I am a councillor, I wish to shift my allegiance to any political party, that is me. That is not betrayal. That is not to say that the individual is not honest. That is my choice. And that is what I am supposed to do. That is why we are advancing democracy in our country. In 2016, when we were coming, we said we want to change the laws. We want democracy in the Gambia. This is part of democracy. Are we removing it out of democracy? It's part of it. So we have to support it and then move on. Something else will come, and then we will take it up. Anything that is bad for this country, I know this House will not support that, but this is good. It's good for us to support and delete it out and then give independence to those people to do their job effectively. Any other thing less than that, Honorable Speaker, we are not fair to the people that are also elected. Because we are elected, we are not better than them. The same police stations were used for elections is also used for their election. So if they are in their local councils, they are not protected, we are not fair to the citizens of this country. It goes without saying, next election, in fact, it might be people who come as independent because nobody will want to join a political party where you will be entangled or where you will be expelled from your from the party, just for speaking your mind. It is not right. So from now on, I think this House will amend or will adopt this particular clause, and then we remove it from the Local Government Act and give leverage to those people out there. Let them speak their mind in local council meetings. Let them speak their mind whenever they want to do so. Let them even shift their allegiance if they want to. That is up to them. That is their choice. That is what the Constitution stated. Honorable Speaker, I wish to take my seat. Thank you.
Honorable Member for Nyamina East.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the subject before us is actually to seek independence for elected leaders or authorities. In long and short, that is what the amendment seeks to do. And independent people have divergent views regarding their political parties or their party leaders. But having perused the document that is before me, Honorable Speaker, I understand things does not actually seem to be as they appeared. Because what is before the document and what is behind the document are completely different. The rationale behind the document, it is best known to every individual here. And in as much as we are talking about independence, and as long as I am concerned, I was never in any way dictated by my political party on whatsoever decision that I have to take before this National Assembly. I have never in any way dictated by my party leader on whatsoever decision that I have to take before this National Assembly. As a result of that, I believe I am independent in terms of making my decision and the decision of my people. I am not representing an individual, but I am representing the people of Nyamina East. And all that I have to say, it is not just my opinion, but the opinion and the belief of the people of Nyamina East. Honorable Speaker, I am not affected as long as the amendment is concerned, but the councillors that are affected, I have no intention to predict what is happening in other areas. But the two councillors that I have within my area, they are in different political parties. I took it upon myself to consult them, to have dialogue with them, to engage them, for us to better examine the document that is before us. And their submission, I wish to submit. They have no intention to agree onto the amendment that is before us. And if I go ahead and have this document passed, meaning I am not representing them as long as the document is directly affecting them and they don't want to have this document passed. Honorable Speaker, to me that's honesty. The people that you represent will dictate you as to what decision you are going to make. And this is actually what they are telling me to do. Honorable Speaker, me alone and the decision that is coming from them alone satisfied me not to agree to the document that is before us, Honorable Speaker. We are talking about honesty and political parties. Every individual with me, the belief that I have is that if you believe that you have that support base, if you believe that you have that influence, if you believe that you have that political know-how to convince the people within your area, Honorable Speaker, I don't think whether you have to struggle with a political party just for you to be chosen as the candidate of that political party, if you believe in that support that you have in that area. Every individual here, Honorable Speaker, before one was identified as the candidate of a political party, you went in for primary with so many people. Why do you have to go in for that primary if you believe that you have a support base within your area in order to win that election? The party backed you, the party supported you, the party financed you, the party did everything possible to ensure that you secure that seat. You have nothing to do but at the end of the day to find your way out without any consequences. I think to me that is dishonest to me. And you cannot call that honesty. We are not arguing the point that you don't have the mandate to join any political party. That is not the point of argument. Of course you do have. But the right that is vested on you to join a political party, lobbying everything from that political party in order to secure that seat, I think that's the honesty we are talking about. And that honesty should maintain. And anytime you feel that you can no longer support that political party, the best thing for you to do is to resign from that political party, go out there and seek the mandate of the electorate, whether they will elect you or not. That's the best thing. But you call yourself you have the power, you call yourself you have the support, you call yourself you have everything, when you were struggling with a political party for you to secure that seat. Where is your power? Resign. Go and seek the mandate of the electorate for you to be elected. That's the time I will know that you have the support. You cannot do that. You cannot show up yourself there when you were elected, supported, financed by a political party. Honorable Speaker, my submission and my position is, and the position of the people of Nyamene is that they are not in agreement with this, as long as the affected councillors within my area are concerned. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Honorable Member for Woolley East.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the drafters of the Local Government Act, as well as the 1997 Constitution, want to see councils or local government authorities as decentralized authorities with a high degree of autonomy. That's what they want them to see them. And what we are debating is the principle and the merits of the bill, which we must not forget. And that is to remove the phrase, if he or she ceases to be a member of the political party of which he or she was a member, at the time of his or her election. It's a very dangerous phrase because we all know that there is no single reason why people leave political parties. It could be due to the political party does not have intra-party democracy. It could belong to that. It could also be that the person wants to betray the party for personal gain. So there is no single reason why somebody would leave. It could be that the party wants to purge you. They want to frustrate you so that you can leave, so that you can lose your seat. So there are many, many reasons why people will either leave the party or they will be pushed out of the party. We know how parties operate. So to leave this there, and anytime you are not in, somebody is not in your good books, you bring in something to remove the person from the party so that the person can lose his or her seat, job, and livelihood. It's very undemocratic. Honorable Speaker, we know from history that there is a member of the National Assembly, Willie East, who simply traveled to Dhaka before she comes back. She was arrested on the road while she was entering the Gambia, detained for many months. And then she lost the seat, and a by-election was taking place while she was in prison or in detention. That's how the person lost her seat. At the time she was losing the seat, if you ask her, what have you done, she wouldn't know. But the information I had was she was talking about the bad road in Willie East. And the ruling party did not want people to know that there is a bad road in Willie East. So they looked for a way and said, this woman is becoming a thorn in the flesh. She belongs to us, but she is now exposing us in parliament. That was the only reason we could hear about our representative. She was removed. So these are the situations that we are trying to address. And we've addressed it for ourselves, but we don't want to address it for others. That's the sad thing about that. Honorable Speaker, this is to harmonize what we have done here. The principle that we have done here is to harmonize that with the Local Government Act. The Constitution says this. We change the Constitution so that people are not unduly removed from their positions by virtue of whatever difference they may have within their party. And we must not forget, to belong to a political party, Honorable Speaker, is not a force, it's by choice. I'm just wondering how anybody will want to keep somebody in a party when you know that person does not even have the same idea with you. But you want to keep the person there just to add the numbers. But you know that the person does not believe in whatever you are engaged in. I don't see the rationale for that. I don't see how one can progress in that situation. So what is good for the goose, Honorable Speaker, is good for the gander. We know the history of political parties. We know the history of political parties, and that history has not changed. The internal democracy in most parties in this country is not adequately done. That's how one person can stay at the head of a political party for 30 years, 40 years. Because the people thought that the party belongs to that party, that person. They did not believe that they who constitute the political party own the party. And whoever they put at the helm during a congress, that person becomes just their head. That's all. The ownership does not belong to anybody. All of them own it together. But that is the mistake that people are making. So the internal democracy, the inter-democracy, is not working in those parties. So if you leave this law there, and then they have a lord above them, the person can always create a situation where you can remove the person. So we must be careful about that, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the phrase, we need strong institutions, not strong people or leaders. How many times do we have to repeat that phrase? We don't need strong leaders. We need, or strong men. We need strong institutions. This phrase must echo in the ears of everybody in this country as well as in this parliament. If we want to move forward, if we want to develop our democracy, that's what we need to do. We must empower our people, especially people who are elected. They are elected already by people to represent them. Only to be entangled with a phrase, if you leave your party, you leave your post. We must empower these people so that they serve the people the best way they could. That's the only way we can function and build strong institutions. If you have this thing hanging, you know, when I saw this thing, this amendment, I kept on searching all the acts, 2002, 2006, 2008, all these acts. I could not see it. I searched and searched. I said, maybe this, the mover of this bill made a mistake. Because I could not see it. I had to consult other people until they were able to show me. It was hidden somewhere. Surreptitiously somewhere. Many Gambians don't even know that this exists. There was a lot of argument that no, this does not exist, no, it exists. Because it was being hidden. If we had known it together, we would have removed all of them at the same time, so that we don't waste our time here. So, Honorable Speaker, I believe that we don't need to belabor too much on this. As we have done it for ourselves, we should simply do it for the whole country to be free from dictatorship from any angle. Representatives must be free. Their minds must be free. What they speak, they must be free in speaking, but their mind. There must not be any restriction as to how they want to represent their people. On that note, I thank the mover and thank you for giving me the space, and thank members and urge them to please not waste time but pass this very beautiful amendment. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Member for Sabah Sanyal.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. I think I'll be the one who will give the shortest intervention. Madam Speaker, most speakers have said it, but I just want to remind ourselves, the very first day we came here in this parliament, all of us were taken through a process. And I can remember we took oath. And among the oath we took was secrecy, execute your functions without fear or favor. I think we should reflect on that day, Madam Speaker, and think deeply to make any decision. I want to say democracy, I just want to reflect there. Democracy, literally, the meaning is power of the people, by the people, and for the people. So if you have that ideology, Madam Speaker, how do you go up to the mid of the way you control people again? That type of democracy is not fitting in the Gambia in this generation. Therefore, Madam Speaker, this parliament recognizes that and came up with an amendment to the Constitution, which was entangling some of the, in fact, all the National Assembly members from speaking their mind. And that was the 91(1)D. And that one experienced a very smooth passing here. I can remember only 3 people who somehow spoke against that very amendment. Now, this is another way, this is another one rather. And there is this saying that tick for tack is a fair game. So what you do for yourself, you should do it for others. And we represent them. They cannot, any law, it's not there, this law is not for them to enjoy. They don't like it. I was a councillor. I never liked it. But I have to succumb to it because I don't have any powers. Now the parliament has the powers. They did it for themselves, and they want to consider them. Some of us are saying no. Because of political party, how do you call it? Supporting political party. I want to believe, Madam Speaker, the objective of this bill is very clear. It's not targeting any party. I think parties should look at their constitution of how to get members in their parties, how to control them in their parties, but the national laws, definitely we should not use that to control party members. Madam Speaker, I also want to reflect that if you go to the Constitution, this provision, the 91(D)(1) was there at on the original text. It was there. And it was observed that the Local Government Act did not have this, and these two groups are representative of the people, so these laws should be harmonized. That was one of also the reason why it was put in the Local Government Act. Now, harmonizing these two laws, now we change the 91(D)(1). We are using the same harmonization to harmonize them, to speak the same language. So you cannot have these two laws contradicting each other. And it is the same people, because those who elected me are the people who elected those councillors and chairpersons. So I think, Madam Speaker, for me, taking too much of time in debating this, definitely everybody has a mind because democracy is prevailing. We all enjoy democracy. We can talk, but if you look at the Local Government Act, Section 20 clearly spells out how chairpersons can be removed. Section 22 also details out how other members of council can be removed. So why giving other powers to other separate body to remove somebody? Are we truly democratic? Madam Speaker, this is very fundamental. Let us reflect on our mind. Let us not be hijacked by political grievances. And most of us were saying here, these chambers is not for political forum. It's not a political forum. It's for national interest. And I believe those councillors, those chairpersons, want to get their independence, their liberty. And some of us have said that. There are other laws in the Local Government Act. We need to look at them. I agree to that. But if the executive is not coming with any amendment, what is stopping us from coming with private members' bill to amend those draconian laws? I think, Madam Speaker, for me, that is not a good position to defend this, that you are not going to support it. I will be very surprised to see any member here saying, I will not support this. I'll be very surprised to hear that today. Yeah, because what I saw, if you say that, what I believe is, if you say that or if you act that way, you are a very selfish somebody.
Madam Speaker.
I'm sorry, okay.
Madam Speaker,
I withdraw that statement. I withdraw that statement. Okay. I withdraw it. Okay. Madam Speaker, this is why I said that. I am really provoked. Why I said this? Yes.
Once you've withdrawn,
yes,
you cannot justify.
Okay. Thank you. So, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, without taking much time of the Parliament, I think my points are made, I put, and definitely, Madam Speaker, I want every member to support this amendment. It's for the good of the whole Gambia, not for an individual people or party. Thank you very much. I beg to take myself.
Thank you. But Honorable Member, I think it's equally fair to also give others a chance. Please. Honorable nominated member Seka, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma, for giving me the floor. Ma, I am just worried, number one, and number two, I am scared. Worried in the sense that when we were here, everybody was saying that we should be sincere to ourselves. We should try to do what we should do for the country, but not for an individual. Ma, if my party is to sack me for the interest of this country, I would not hesitate to go. I am in for the country. I don't mind any other party who is just maybe saying that you are ours, so you should not do what. Let us do away with these cosmetic parties, where you know that people will say, by force you will be with us, or off you go. I think joining a party is not a force. Somebody said it. If I want, I will join this party. If I want to leave, I will leave the party. But I am voted for to serve the country. I don't think the parties, and I will say that all the political parties in this country should have anything to say about me doing something with any other party. What does that mean? Are these parties not part of the country? Are we not Gambians? Are we not looking forward for the betterment of this country? Are we not looking for a better Gambia? I think this is what we should really think about. Let us, for me, my party, I have my own party example, and then somebody is going out from this party and going to another party. I'll be happy. Why? History will judge that he was from my party and now he is serving the country. So nothing should stop me. Nothing should stop me from honoring that person. Let us be realistic. Let us be something. I just don't want to say until Madam Speaker will tell me withdraw. But let us be generous then. I will say let us be generous with the country. This country is our motherland. We all belong to this country, and we want to serve the country. And we know that this bill, I remember when this 91(1)D came, everybody was happy. Most of us were happy. And then I think if we say no to this bill, we are inconsistent. The inconsistency is there, and that we should really think about. Honorable members, my colleagues, let us not be angry. Anger sometimes will make us to put ourselves into hot dish or into hot soup. Let us not be angry. In fact, dialogue is very necessary. Dialogue is important. When we see that something wrong is going on, let us call for dialogue. Let us call for exchanging ideas, but let us not be in dilemma every time. Ma, this country belongs to us. Ma, we were here. Most of us wanted to leave this country. And we all came together for these changes. And this system change is not there up to now. The system change, the regime change, the regime change is still there. Because where I was thinking that after the 2016 general elections, we will not even talk about parties, and we are still talking about parties, then I will say there is no regime change but system change. Gambia, let us do away from all these things. Let us come together and work as one. Let us be sincere. United we walk, united we stand, and divided we fall. Let us come together despite our parties. We are saying that this person is from another party but is my friend. Are we sure? Are we sure that this is what is happening? If I have a friend and that person, we share the same party and he leaves my party and goes to another party, would that be a crime? Not. Let us come together and work as one. Let us change this. Let us try and make sure that we change all these tribunal laws that is in our books. We still have it in our constitution, and we still have it in even this bill this amendment, local government. Because I read somewhere where we said that the mayors should be the mayoress, and the chairperson should be dismissed by the president, and that should be taken out. Maybe next time it will be taken out, but that should not stop us from going ahead. Let us push ahead. Whether the problem is, and let us be as genuine as possible, and we make sure that we move, and then the right directions will take its place. I don't want to keep up this long talk, but united we stand and divided we fall. Me, for whatever, backward, never. Gambia is our country. Let us work for a better Gambia, and a better Gambia is possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Honorable Member for Fonyi Bondali.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving me the floor. I want to begin with that. We said that we, the APRC, brought all these bad laws here. And that you people are now following our bad laws. Then we are better than you people. We are better than you people. If you say that we brought all these bad laws here and we want to follow those bad laws, then we are better than you people.
Sir, Honorable, let's use honorable members and not let's use honorable members and not you people.
Madam Speaker, our saying goes on, who laugh last, laugh the best. Then we laugh the best now. Madam Speaker, I am 100% in support of this bill because I made consultation with my councillors and they all in support of this bill. I am elected by my people to come and represent them. My councillors also, they are elected by our people to come and to go and represent at the council if they don't have their freedom and if they don't have their independency. How would they represent them in the council? How would they represent them in the council? We untied ourselves here. We don't want to untie others. Are we fair to those people? We are not fair to those people. I was a councillor before. I am a councillor for 11 years, some months. I resigned for this position. So I know what is in the council. I know what is in the council. We are suffering with this, but we cannot remove it. It's the National Assembly who can remove it for us. If we don't have that opportunity at that time, but now the councillors have this opportunity, why are we wasting our time on this? We should not even waste on time on this. I am urging my fellow members, let's support this bill. Those councillors, they are the ones who voted us here. Let's protect them. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Yes. Thank you very much. Honorable Member for Jara East.
Madam Speaker, for giving me the floor. Madam Speaker, life is recollection. And I want to recollect by embarking on a short historical odyssey, if you like, journey, just to whet your appetite historically. Madam Speaker.
Can we?
Yes, it's a foundation. Okay.
Down memory lane.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for accepting my foundation. Madam Speaker, it was late Honorable Member for Sami constituency in the person of Honorable Idrissa Sambasala in the second legislature, if my memory serves me right, who came with a private member's bill that was hinged on the prohibition of the tobacco or public smoking. And this August Assembly gave their blessing. Madam Speaker, next was our very own minority leader and member for Nyamina Dankungo constituency, who also came with a private member bill that was hinged on Section 91(1)(d) of the 1997 Constitution. And Madam Speaker, today we are witnessing another private member's bill brought here by our very own member for Lower Badibu constituency, who doubles as the mover. Madam Speaker, these are positive gains. These are laudable efforts. Madam Speaker, the bill, according to the prayers enshrined in the bill, seeks to create independence, autonomy for councillors, chairmen. Madam Speaker, that is okay, I have no qualms with it. But Madam Speaker, there is more to this bill than what meets the eye. That must be understood beyond the bare essential. I repeat, there is more to this bill than what meets the eye. Madam Speaker, with me here are some analogies. I said father-son relationship, and I also said it's an old age Mandinka adage, and with your permission, it says, if you stumble and pick a goal, you don't look at the pristine nature of the goal, but you look where you stumbled. If you do that, you will not be considered as an ingrate. You will not be considered as an ungrateful person, Madam Speaker. If you are only interested in the pristine value of the goal, you'll be overwhelmed. Madam Speaker, to curtail you to son-father relationship, Madam Speaker, if you are a son, you owe your father a modicum of assistance. You owe your father a modicum of gratitude. And I don't think you'll be happy to abandon your father at the 11th hour. I don't think. Madam Speaker, I am not in any mood to accept the prayers that are embedded in the bill, simply because, Madam Speaker, as human beings, if you look at our Constitution, there must be a modicum of control. In the Assembly here, it's very clear. We have an umpire in the person of the Speaker, or if you like, the presiding officer, basically to wield an element of control. This is why when the House is chaotic, the Speaker will use powers vested in her to bring the House to order. Madam Speaker, humanity will not be humanity if it is devoid of order, control, regulation. There must be an internal regulation. This is why when you have cabinet, you have the executive, you also have the inner cabal that are there to make decisions on behalf of the general public. Madam Speaker, lest we forget, why is it that political parties, during the electioneering campaign, we have several political parties, but why is it that you decided to contest on the ticket of Party A or Party B? There must be a rationale, a motive, because there is no smoke without fire. Perhaps you have it at the back of your mind that Party A, the likelihood of my winning lies with Party A. And this is why you make a choice you settled for Party A. Madam Speaker, that Party A must be respected by all means, because many were called, but few were chosen. Madam Speaker, I, for one, I cannot do it. I must subject myself to the party or internal regulations of my party. Because I saw many political parties, but I decided to, vie on the ticket of Party A with the full knowledge and belief that that political party is the party that is likely going to take me to the promised land. And this is why I contested on that ticket. So, Madam Speaker, it does not make sense, and we must ask ourselves, why is it that at the time of the electioneering campaign, there was a convenience of marriage? Why is it that at the time of the electioneering campaign, you were comparative bedfellows with your political party, but why not now? That's the million-dollar question. Why? Why? And political parties expel their members based on reasons. Ask yourself, why is it that my party have decided to cast me away? Does it have to do with your integrity? Are you a victim of moral turpitude as opposed to moral rectitude? Ask yourself, why? Every why has a wherefore. Why? Ask yourself. There is no smoke without fire. Ask yourself why. You found people there, and see there are people there, they have not been given their marching orders, but you are giving your marching order. Why? Why? So it means the son has betrayed the father, and you now call you that bad. Madam Speaker, if you look at this bill, like I said in my opening preamble, there is more to this bill than what meets the eye. This bill, Madam Speaker, has come to take the independence, the liberty, the freedom that political parties enjoy. Because if this bill is allowed to see the light of the day, and I don't think that will happen, it will suffer a natural death. I know my colleagues will do their best as honorable members to give this bill, to subject this bill to a natural death and to place it in its right place. Yes, where it belongs to, whether under the bus or in River Gambia. How do you do it? Speaker, on a more serious note, if you come to the extant issue of the bill is saying that it's trying to empower councillors, chairmen. Madam Speaker, let them ask or let the mover tell me, have you received any complaint from the chairmen, from the councillors, with regard to their independence? Has their independence been compromised? And if compromised, tell me how, when, and why. I would like to know that. Madam Speaker, every candidate at the time of election canvasses for votes on a particular platform, and that platform is backed by a particular political party. If you think you have what it takes to win elections, why trailing behind a political party? Why? If you think you have the wherewithal, you have the stamina, you are that Tyson, that big man, why? Madam Speaker, we must be very honest to ourselves. You see, political parties are very important in the life of a country. Yes. They are not created out of the blue. These political parties are enshrined in our constitution. There are rules and regulations. So, Madam Speaker, political parties are here to stay with us, whether we like it or not. And there must be that modicum of control. There has to be an iota of regulation, of control. Because as human beings, Madam Speaker, if we leave everything free, Madam Speaker, that will not help us. In fact, that will tantamount to brute life, law of the jungle. So there must be control. There must be control. And at any given time, there must be a particular political party or a coalition of political parties that will coalesce, to have a government in place. So political parties are here to stay. But I, for one, if I think I have what it takes to contest an election solo, like an independent candidate, why wasting my time trailing behind a political party? I will not do that. And let's cast our minds back to during the electoral campaign, what we are telling the electorate. If you vote for party A, they'll bring the sky down and the land up. Yes, you were campaigning on their ticket. And as a result, you won the elections on their ticket. So why do you have the mindset to abandon them at the 11th hour? Why? It means you are culpable of something. You are culpable of something. Something must have happened. Madam Speaker, this is very clear. It's as clear as a noonday. Parties don't expel their devoted members like that. They don't. There are rules and regulations governing the formation of political parties. At any point in time you are giving your marching orders, know that there must be a reason, and it must be a very genuine reason, Madam Speaker. No political party under the sun entertains members that are out there to soil the character and integrity of the party. Never. Tell me, who will help me, the mover? Which political party will accept that? There is no political party under the sun. And if you go back to our households, you would like your kids to follow you, to take your instructions. Am I not right? Yes, it's natural. But if they are given that, absolute freedom, Madam Speaker, it does not help. It does not help. And today we are making history, Madam Speaker. And let us always remember that we cannot escape the long arms of history, neither can we escape the long arms of justice. It will come to haunt us. Whatever this one is made here, will come to haunt us. And as the saying goes, we are in turn with our good ones, our good deeds, but our bad deeds continue to haunt us, even when we are consigned to our graves. So, Madam Speaker, we have to be very, very mindful. You see, I always say, in life, there are 3 L's. Live, love, and leave a legacy. These are the 3 L's. You live. As long as you live, you learn to love. As long as you love, you learn to leave a legacy, but not only a legacy, but a positive legacy that can be bequeathed to generations yet unborn. That's very key. That's very key. You see, Madam Speaker, if this bill is allowed to see the light of the day, there is something fundamental that will creep in within the ranks of the political parties, and that's suspicion. And lest we forget, suspicion burns friendship. You see, Caesar loved his wife, Madam Speaker, basically because the wife is above suspicion. Make no mistake. You cannot be a thorn in the flesh of your political party. They will cast you away. They will cast you away.
Honorable Speaker,
You must
point
to the
of order.
line. You must to the line.
Honorable Speaker, point of order. Yes.
Yes, that's okay.
Can you refer to the authority?
67, Honorable Speaker. Section 67 of the standing order.
Order.
67, second reading. Once a motion is being moved, we just only have to debate the general principles and merits of the bill. The member is deviating from that, Honorable Speaker, and then you have to make a ruling on that.
Your intervention in line with. Go ahead, carry on.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes, just in line.
Yes. I thank my honorable colleague from All Yundum for that lofty guidance. Thank you. Madam Speaker, it's democracy. Madam, I'm not perfect. And I thank him for drawing me by my ears to say hi. Madam Speaker, honestly speaking, we are working for Gambian people. And make no mistake, Madam Speaker, any political party you see in the Gambia here, honestly speaking, they are all cognizant of Section 1112 of the Constitution of the 1997. That is national interest and conscience. They are all cognizant of that. There is no single political party in the Gambia here that is out to destabilize, that is out to bring chaos. But if you compress their agendas in a nutshell, they are all out to bring development, and not only development, but development with dignity. So therefore, all political parties share a common denominator, that is to see the Gambia develop in leaps and bounds. So fundamentally, Madam Speaker, there is no bad political party, but there can be bad eggs in the political party. That is feasible. And as a result, those bad eggs must be purged. You see? Madam Speaker, when I was canvassing for votes, Madam Speaker, I was quite circumspect in my utterances for the simple reason that I know that tomorrow will come. So therefore, Madam Speaker, and I contested on a particular political party's ticket. And this particular political party's ideologies were sold to the electorate. And as a result of the lofty political ideologies or manifestos of that political party, Madam Speaker, guess what? I emerged as a village champion. I won with a landslide majority. Yes. I emerged as a village champion. I won with a landslide majority. Madam Speaker, I won not by a dint of my performance, not by a dint of my own efforts, but by a dint of the political party that, helped me. So, Madam Speaker, I think for far too long, we have been crying for democracy, independence. But lest we forget, it was a collection of political parties that destooled the regime that was here and installed democracy. You see? So any bill that is out to assassinate the latitude that political parties enjoy to control their flock, Madam Speaker, must be given a heavy blow. That bill must be given a heavy blow. That is my contention. Madam Speaker, to draw the curtain, Madam Speaker, I must thank the August Assembly for having allowed a healthy debate to navigate on the floor of the House. Madam Speaker, we are all one. We are all working for the betterment of the Gambia, and I think the Gambia will, progress by God's grace. But Madam Speaker, I know my honorable colleagues, they will do the right thing. And I believe, Madam Speaker, my honorable colleagues here are very wise, and I know they will do the right thing. For the proof of the pudding is in the eating. But I have no doubt in your integrity. I know you are honorable member of sharp intellect and profound ability, and you will discharge your functions honorably by saying no to this bill. Thank you.
I listened to that. I wanted to make some comments, but I will reserve them. Honorable members, I think let's suspend for about 30 minutes and then we come back. I observe that some people have gone in and out, but some of us have been sitting since. So, yes. We come back at 3:30, please, to finish the debates. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. We are going for a lunch break and we'll be back in 30 minutes time to continue the debate on the bill to amend Section 19 of the Local Government Act that want to delete the section that gives the power of the political parties to sack their members from the party, and automatically they will lose their seat as a National Assembly member. So the debate is still on, but so far those in support of the bill are more than those against the bill so far. But we'll be back in 30 minutes to continue the session.